concert B flat, or for a clarinet a C. And since it was in tune, that means that the note is vibrating the clarinet at the right frequency. But if I make the clarinet longer by pulling these pieces out a little bit, let's see what happens to the sound. So remember, we had a B flat and it was perfectly green, it was perfectly in tune. But now let's see what happens. The tuner was telling me to tune up, which means that the clarinet is too long, so I need to push it in. Or in other words, exactly where it was before. And for tuning these instruments, the only thing that I can change, because I couldn't change the length of the straw, was change the tightness of my lips. I exaggerated it a little bit for the sake of the video, but I don't have anything else to change, so the only thing that I can do to make the air vibrate at the right frequency is to give less slack in my lips, which makes the plastic vibrate more frequently or at higher frequency, which makes it a higher pitch. For clarinets or similar wind instruments, you can change the tuning by changing your armature or your lips. But it's not nearly as drastic because there's a lot more pieces that go into making the sound. For a simple instrument, there's only a couple pieces that make the sound, so when you change one of them, like the tightness of your lips and the airflow coming out of it, then you're going to drastically change the tuning. And then for also instruments like this, you have all of these keys that change the air coming out. Because every time you move your fingers to cover up one of these holes, it redirects the air. So when I have 3 fingers down, it directs the air through all of these holes. But when I put more fingers down, it directs the air through less holes and more through the bottom. So in general, the more fingers you have down, or the lower the air has to travel before it gets out, the lower the sound. But there's a trick. For a clarinet, and for a saxophone, and for a flute, there's this thing called the octave key. It's a key very high up on the instrument that when pressed makes every note higher. You can't really see it when I'm playing, but the only thing I'm doing differently between those notes is opening this little hole, which in turn directs the air out this hole as well as these bottom holes.